What if all your regrets, all your worries, simply cease to exist? Deep in the Amazon, a tribe lives without a past or a future, just the eternal now. Their language has no words for yesterday or tomorrow, yet they radiate a joy we chase but rarely find. Stay with us and discover how they live so fully in the present that time itself seems to pause. Imagine standing in a forest so dense, the sunlight barely touches the ground. You hear the hum of life, birds, insects, the whisper of leaves. In this world, there's no clock ticking, no calendar flipping. Here lives the Amawaka, a tribe whose language has no words for past or future. To them, time is not a line stretching backward or forward. It's a single, endless moment, the now. Let's start with a truth that might unsettle you. The Amawaka don't carry the weight of regret or the anxiety of what's next. In our world, we're taught to dwell on yesterday's mistakes or plan obsessively for tomorrow. But the Amawaka, they don't have a word for either. Their language is built around the present. Verbs that describe what is happening, sensations that are felt, actions that are taken right now. When an Amawaka elder tells a story, it's not about what was, but about what the story means in this moment. A tale of a great hunt isn't history. It's a living lesson, as fresh as the morning dew. This absence of time fosters a joy that's almost childlike. Picture a mother weaving a basket while her child plays nearby, chasing a butterfly. There's no rush to finish the basket for some future goal. The act of weaving, the laughter of the child, the butterfly's dance, it's all enough. It's everything. Linguists who've studied the Amawaka say their language shapes their reality. Without words to anchor the past, they don't relive pain. Without a future to predict, they don't fear what's coming. This isn't just a quirk of speech, it's a philosophy encoded in their very words. But how do you live without planning for tomorrow? How do you survive in a jungle that demands vigilance? Let's step into their world and see how the Amawaka thrive by embracing the present. You're walking barefoot through the jungle, the earth cool beneath your feet. An Amawaka hunter moves beside you, silent, his eyes scanning the undergrowth. He's not thinking about yesterday's hunt or tomorrow's meal. He's reading the forest now, every snapped twig, every faint scent. The Amawaka's survival hinges on their ability to be fully present. Their tracking skills are legendary, not because they're born with sharper senses, but because they've mastered the art of noticing. A bent leaf tells them a taper passed hours ago. A shift in the wind carries the scent of rain. They don't analyze these signs in terms of past or future. They act on them immediately. If a fruit is ripe, they eat. If a storm is coming, they build shelter. No hesitation, no second guessing. Their tracking isn't just about animals. It's about life. An Amawaka healer can read a person's body as easily as a hunter reads the forest. A furrowed brow, a quickened breath. They notice these cues and respond with a remedy, a kind word, or silence. This hyper-awareness comes from living in the moment, unburdened by the mental noise of what was or what might be. For us, this feels almost impossible. Our minds are tangled in deadlines, memories, and worries. But watching an Amawaka hunter pause to listen to the forest, you realize they're not distracted. They're here, and in that presence, they find a clarity we've lost. What happens when you strip away the concept of time? Does it change how you face fear or even death? Let's explore the Amawaka's relationship with life's deepest questions. Night falls, and the Amawaka gather around a fire. The flames cast shadows on their faces as they chant softly, a rhythm that feels like the heartbeat of the forest. They're not praying for a better future or mourning a lost past. They're celebrating this moment, life, death, and everything in between. The Amawaka see life as a cycle, not a line. Birth and death aren't endpoints. They're part of a continuous flow, like the river that runs through their village. When someone dies, there's no lingering grief over what was lost, because the person's spirit is still part of the now, present in the stories told, the lessons shared. Joy, too, is immediate. A successful hunt means a feast tonight, not a stockpile for tomorrow. This perspective dissolves fear. In our world, we fear death because it's the end of a timeline. For the Amawaka, death is just a shift in the cycle. A grandmother who passes becomes the wind in the trees, the warmth of the fire. This belief isn't abstract. It's felt deeply in every moment they live. Their rituals reflect this. A funeral isn't a goodbye. It's a celebration of the person's presence in the now. Songs are sung, not to mourn, but to weave the departed into the living moment. It's a worldview that makes every second sacred. But how do you live so fully in the present when survival demands preparation? Let's uncover the Amawaka's secret to thriving without a future. Dawn breaks, and an Amawaka woman kneels by the river, filling a clay pot with water. She doesn't carry more than her family needs today. Why? Because tomorrow will bring its own water, its own gifts. In our world, wealth is about accumulation, more money, more things, more security. For the Amawaka, wealth is having enough now. They don't store food for months or build houses to last decades. They trust the forest to provide, and it does, because they've learned its rhythms. A fruit tree is ripe today, fish swim in the river today, and that's enough. This isn't naive optimism. It's a profound trust in the present. The Amawaka don't plan for scarcity because they don't live in a mindset of lack. Every moment is abundant if you know how to see it. A single fish, shared among the village, is a feast. A single day, lived fully, is a lifetime. Imagine the freedom of not chasing more. The Amawaka's joy comes from sufficiency, from knowing that this moment holds everything they need. It's a lesson that stings. How much of our stress comes from wanting what we don't have? This trust in the now extends beyond food or shelter. It shapes how they communicate, how they connect. Let's discover their hidden language of presence. Two Amawaka men sit in silence by the river, their eyes locked on the water. No words pass between them, yet they understand each other perfectly. Their communication isn't bound by time. It's rooted in the moment. The Amawaka's language is sparse, not because they lack complexity, but because they prioritize what's essential. Without words for past or future, their speech is vivid with sensory detail, colors, textures, feelings. They describe a jaguar not as a memory or a threat, but as the shadow that moves with yellow eyes. This forces them to stay present, to articulate what is. Their nonverbal communication is even more profound. A glance, a gesture, a pause. These carry as much meaning as words. When an elder teaches a child to weave, they don't lecture about technique. They guide the child's hands, moving together in silence, learning through touch and presence. This intimacy creates a community where no one feels alone. In our world, we text, we call, we plan conversations. The Amawaka simply are together, and that's enough. Their silence isn't empty, it's full of understanding. But what about the practical side? How does a tribe without time navigate the dangers of the jungle? Let's explore their mastery of plant medicine and survival. An Amawaka healer kneels beside a child with a fever, crushing leaves into a paste. The forest is her pharmacy, and she knows every plant by its feel, its smell, its spirit. She's not thinking about curing the child for tomorrow. She's healing now. The Amawaka's knowledge of plant medicine is staggering. They use over 300 plants for everything from snake bites to childbirth. But their approach isn't scientific in our sense. It's intuitive, immediate. A healer doesn't memorize a catalog of cures. She feels the plant's energy, trusts her instincts, and acts in the moment. This skill comes from presence. A healer notices subtle signs, a plant's color, the texture of its sap, and responds instantly. It's not about remembering past cures or predicting outcomes. It's about trusting the now, the forest, and the connection between them. There's a humility here that humbles us. The Amawaka don't conquer nature. They listen to it. Every plant, every remedy, is a gift from the present moment, accepted with gratitude. So, what can we learn from a people who live without time? Let's bring their wisdom into our world. You're back in your world now, surrounded by clocks, calendars, and notifications. But something lingers, a whisper from the Amawaka. What if you could live, even for a moment, as they do? Fully, deeply in the now? The Amawaka teach us that time is a choice. We can't erase our language or our responsibilities, but we can shift how we live. Start small. Notice the taste of your coffee, the warmth of the sun, the sound of your breath. These are the moments the Amawaka live for, not because they're simple, but because they're enough. Their life challenges our obsession with control. We plan, we worry, we regret, because we think time is ours to master. The Amawaka remind us, time isn't a prison unless we make it one. The present is always open, always enough. This isn't about escaping to the jungle. It's about finding the Amawaka's peace in your own life. The next time you're stressed, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what's here now? That's where their joy lives, and it's where yours can, too. Before we part, let's reflect on what this means for us, and how the Amawaka's wisdom might change the way we live forever. The fire in the Amawaka village burns low now, but its warmth lingers. You've walked their paths, heard their silence, felt their joy, and you're left with the question, can you carry their wisdom home? The Amawaka don't ask us to abandon our world. They ask us to see it differently. To live in the present isn't to ignore the future. It's to trust that every moment prepares you for what's next. Their life is proof. You don't need a past to learn or a future to hope. You need only this moment, lived fully. So try it. Today, pause for 1 minute. Notice the world around you, the light, the sounds, the feel of your own breath. Let that be enough. And if this story touched you, share it. Let others feel the Amawaka's gift. The Amawaka live in a world without time, but they've given us a timeless gift, the power of now. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, live fully, right here, right now.